I think the other news that I thought was interesting today is we went from a day ago, Zach Wilson potentially being out there week 1. Oh, he's so ahead of schedule. But then today, it's not only will he miss week 1, that's not happening. He's also out week 2. He's also out week 3. We want him out week 4 is maybe when he can come back because we want him to be physically and mentally ready is what they said. And I thought that was interesting wording, the and mentally part.
But just like you're getting at that they just benched Zach Wilson and they didn't want to come out and say it.
I think they benched him a little bit. I think they were like, we need him a little bit more time. I think they like Flacco more. I really think they like Flacco more.
Man, can't wait to see Mike White week 5.
This happened to Sam Darnold too. He got outplayed by Joe Flacco one season. I don't remember.
He did.
So so Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Part of this is that they're just bad, but the other side of it is Joe Flacco's actually underrated.
This is actually a big Joe Flacco.
I don't know about that, but yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Matt. That there was a season where like the best games for the Jets offense weren't the Darnold games; they were the Flacco games. And last year for the Jets, they scored 30 points twice on offense. They scored 30 points twice. The quarterbacks in those games were Mike White and I think it's Josh Johnson. Those were the 2 best games. The offense looked way more competent without Zach Wilson last year. And then the news out of training camp, what's Saleh saying? I think Flacco's a starter in this league. Flacco's outplaying Zach Wilson. I just straight up I think they don't like Zach Wilson. I don't think Saleh likes Zach Wilson.
This is too bad. I don't know. I think it's a little bit speculation, obviously.
Oh, it's 100%. I'm making shit up. He didn't say this, but I'm trying to read between the lines.
No, I can respect that. I'm sure that Jets fans will not feel the same way.
Theo has another team fan base like coming for him at this point.
They'll make up some fan fiction about Zach Wilson sleeping with my
I don't
mom
know.
Or something and
I think that they're not a playoff team. And I don't think that Saleh gets fired if they're not a playoff team. No,
I don't think he gets fired either, unless the defense is maybe a complete disaster. I could see a world where he gets fired.
So
I could see a world where he gets fired.
Yeah, I just think that see what you got, and you have to see what you have in Zach Wilson. You're just delaying the inevitable. Like you have to play him, even if he's terrible. You gotta play him. You cannot just I promise you, Flacco, maybe he'll be solid. He will not be so good where you'll be like, forget that Wilson guy. We've got Joe Flacco. We're rolling with Joe. So I guess I get it. Maybe he's really worried about, some serious improvement for the Jets and Wilson hasn't shown it. Or maybe they're talking themselves into, if we just give ourselves a few more weeks, it'll be okay. But if he's not going to be able to practice, if the excuse is injury and he's not going to be able to actually go and practice, then how much can he really improve?
Yeah, I think it'll come week 4 against the Steelers, and TJ Watt will kind of show where he is. I think that's might be what happens. I don't know. I think it's possible that Saleh gets fired. There's a stat. Matt Rule is currently the only active head coach in the league. Matt Rule is the only active head coach in the league that has missed the playoffs twice in a row and is still there. Every other coach in the league has either made the playoffs in the last 2 years or is brand new. All right. So these coaches do not get Saleh is one bad year away from being regarded as a Matt Rule head coach, right? I don't know if that's true because he had more success in the league and Rule came from Baylor and Rule fired Joe Brady and hired Ben McAdoo, which was stupider than anything Saleh's done. So I think so. I don't know if he's actually going to get regarded as a Rule tier head coach, but missing the playoffs twice in a row gets you in. You could be fired.
I think with Saleh here though, it's it can't possibly be playoffs or you're fired, right? Because they're just not. The roster just is not there.
No.
Yeah, I think what needs to happen is if the defense looks all right and Zach Wilson isn't the guy, maybe they'll give him another shot. But We'll see. I think it's possible. I think if they just are one of the worst teams in the league and they drafted the wrong quarterback and they had 3 first-round picks this year, and a number 2 overall pick last year. So it's not like they didn't have an opportunity and tons of cap space. So it's not like they haven't had an opportunity to build a winning team. I remember after the draft, people did seem to think the Jets were sleeper playoff teams. So I don't know how they feel about their own roster, but I don't know. I don't think it's likely, but I could see Saleh getting fired. But I don't want to sit here and say before even week 1 that the Jets, are going to fire Robert Saleh. But I do think that they don't have a lot of confidence in Zach Wilson. But
the other cool thing about Joe Flacco starting is that this is the first game that he will play against the Baltimore Ravens. Ever.
Good luck to him. That's all I can say.
God bless.
God bless.
Throw to Garrett Wilson a lot, I say.
Throw to Garrett Wilson a lot. Is it in Baltimore?
It is, I believe, in New York.
Oh, it's in New York.
That's a shame.
That is
what would
shame.
What would be like the welcome for Flacco?
Honestly,
it'd be pretty warm, right?
Or would it be my God, it would be the warmest.
That's all. There's no way that he would get booed.
I'm just saying it's been a while. Is it a little awkward?
It's been 4 years.
That's absence makes the heart grow fonder. Like I think they would get, because it's not even like he's a real quarterback for another team. It's not like Russell Wilson is on the like it ended poorly. Like he's irrelevant now. He's basically like a retired old legend coming back. So at the beginning of the game, he would get a standing ovation. Any Ravens fan listening to this, like they know, like they would applaud him for 10 straight minutes. Won him a Super Bowl. He was elite that playoff run.
It's like that's
13 minutes standing ovation.
They would Flacco, Lamar would be 1
minute for every touchdown he threw in that playoff run.
Lamar would be telling the crowd to quiet down when they were on offense because they'd still be standing and cheering for Flacco in this playoff
run. Joe Flacco has to calm the offense down so the Ravens can. That's really the advantage the Jets would have in Baltimore.
Yeah, the crowd would be so loud because they'd be cheering for Joe Flacco the whole time.
Be cheering for Joe Flacco,
but it's in New York.
It's in New York, but I still think it'll be kind of an interesting competition.